Hello, Agnes, Stewart Middle School students and families. This is Mr. Fuller. Today I just wanted to share with you a video that would show you how to access your student schedule so that you can see what classes they have and then compare that to our period bell schedule so that you know when they should be in class for this first quarter of comprehensive distance learning. So we'll start with here, just being here at our school website. On this site, you can scroll down just a little bit and find these student links. And today we're going to just start with this one that's called StudentVue. It is a green square with a colorful diamond in the middle. If you click on that, then it will pull up this StudentVue login page. This is going to be a resource for your students throughout middle school and high school that can provide them with some different information. I'm going to actually switch over to this slideshow so that you're not seeing any student information. You could see there that my son had logged into his StudentVue. But this is what your page would look like. Students can log in using their username, which is their first name dot last name. There are just a few exceptions to that, and that would be for students especially with long names or long hyphenated names. It is the same username that they would use to log into the SPS portal, which most of our students are familiar with, and so they might already know what that username is. Also, if you came to the school and picked up your device, you should have received this piece of paper that is the usage and care instructions for your Chromebook. And if you look up in this top right-hand corner, then there's a box there that also has the username there, so you could check that out there if you needed to. So that's the username, first name dot last name with those few exceptions. And then the password is actually the first two letters of your last name. The first letter is capitalized, the second letter is not, followed by the student ID number, which is also often known as their lunch number. And so once you have that information loaded, you can click on Login, and then that will take you to a page that looks like this. I've blocked out some of this student information, but you should see if your student has been in the district and taken school pictures, a picture of your student with their name and their ID number so that you know that you're logged in correctly to the right student. To access your student's schedule, you'll look over here at the left-hand column and find this link right here for class schedule. You can click on that, and then that would pull up your student's schedule. You can make sure that you are on the page for quarter one. So you can look over in that right-hand corner and make sure that quarter one is marked, and then you can see your student's class schedule. Every student will be assigned to a 0 period or advisory. We call that our wolf dens here at Agnes Stewart. And you can see then over on the far side, the teacher that they are assigned to for that class. Then what would be helpful today is that you pay attention to what the different period numbers are. So this is an example of a schedule that looks fairly normal or consistent with our schedules in the past, starting with 0 period, then 1 through 6. Some schedules won't have 1st through 6th period and might have 7 through 12. And then other schedules might have some additional periods like period 13, 14, or 15. So just pay attention to what those numbers are. They don't necessarily mean that these classes will follow in chronological order, and we'll talk about what that looks like here in a second. So once that you have that class schedule, then you can go back to our website, and up here at the top, there's this great icon of a student reading a book, which is kind of ironic for comprehensive distance learning. But if you click on that, that will take you to our distance learning website. We're in the middle of rebuilding this from our spring, where this was the portal for all of our learning grids. And so there's a lot of things that will be here that will be of assistance to you. But for now, we're just going to be looking at the school schedules. You can find those here in the middle, or you can find them at the top right. So if you click on that, we're going to pay attention to what periods our student had when we were looking at that slide, right? So if we remember, we were here, this is a 6th grade student. They had periods 1 through 6. And so back here to our schedules, we look for the group that has periods 1 through 6. And we know that our student is a 6th grader and is then part of the blue group. And so you can look and see what periods they have, and that will determine which group they're in, and then you can click on their appropriate grade level that will then bring up their bell schedule. So Because our student is a sixth grader and a member of the Blue group, they will start with core days on Mondays and Thursdays, applied learning days on Tuesdays and Fridays, and then all of our students have Wednesdays for independent work and applied learning, some time to get their homework done or to do different tasks that they have been assigned. Like I mentioned earlier, every day starts with 0 period. So no matter what time your classes start on those days, every day starts at 9 o'clock with advisory. And you'll be able to access that through your Google Classroom, as with all of your classes. Because our student, if we remember, had 0 period, then first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, we can see here that first period they had PE help with Mrs. Clark, second period STEM lab with Susan Oakley. So if we come to our schedule, then we can see that first period is on Tuesdays and Fridays. That's their related arts class. Our student had PE and health. In second period, they had STEM. They did not have listed a 13th, 14th, or 15th period. And so on Tuesdays and Fridays, the end of their class day will be at 10:40, and they'll have the remainder of the day to work on homework or applied learning activities. If we go back to our schedule, we see that third, fourth, fifth, sixth period are our core classes, math and science with Mrs. Stolp, and language arts social studies with Mrs. Chaffee. So those will be held on Monday and Thursday. We find third, fourth, fifth, sixth period here. So you can see a third and fourth period will be from 9:25 to 11:20 with a break in between there. That'll be math and science with Mrs. Stolp, and fifth and sixth period from 12:05 to 2 o'clock with Mrs. Chaffee. So I hope that that helps you to understand how to access your student schedule and to understand the bell schedule so that you know when your students should be in class. Attendance will be taken for every period, and we really hope to see your students there. As always, please give us a call at the school if you have any questions. The number is 541-988-2520, or you can always email me at any time. Thanks. Have an Agnes day.